What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the Jump Off. This is your host, Doug the Organic One, coming at you guys for another episode of the Jump Off. And today I got some I would say it's some essential, important news for a lot of people who are, just moving right for the most part. And I wanna, just like, expound upon, something that's not widely talked about, but is definitely felt and dealt with on a very frequent basis by those of us who are, aligned with this message. And I want to kick it off by saying they say it takes a village. And nobody really talks about what it actually takes to be a village. And in that, being a village, a lot of us, I won't even say a lot of us, some of us end up being fathers to sons that aren't even ours. Not biologically, not by blood, but spiritually, emotionally, and socially. It's like God said, you saw the gap, and I feel it. At first, you think, you just mentoring, just mentorship, a little advice here, quick check in there. But one day it just dawns on you that you really been raising people, and nobody gives you a manual for that. You just see the broken patterns, wounded pride, and people trying to figure out who to be. And somehow you become the compass. Like you're that buffering point between them running and hollering in the streets, disturbing the peace. Instead of doing that like they used to do, they're going to look to you. That's when you become the ultimate ace or the what would he do button. And the whole time they're doing that, you find your own battles, trying to stay disciplined and keep your spirit steady. Build your life. You're pouring into people, building your life, and you're pouring into people who can't even spell accountability. Like that's not something we really get to, talk on and experience. But you know, when it comes to being the rock, it's not free. It really costs. It really costs you to be there for someone else. It costs you your peace. It costs you your rest. It costs you pieces of yourself that you didn't even know were up for loaning out. Like you get invited to, people's trauma, into their chaos. You correct their mistakes, and you get to get insight on their pain. And most of the time, there's no reciprocity. Not because they don't care, but because they don't have the capacity to do so. They can't even see the weight that they are or the fact that they are a pure burden. But, different levels provide you different lenses. And those who tug at your ropes from the bottom for a lift to the mountaintop will never know the burden or the strain until it's their muscles, their own. And that's when you learn leadership is lonely. Being a father figure in a world full of lost sons and people in general means you don't always get to just be a man. But check this out. Here's here's what I also had to learn. Losers want to win too. And they'll pull you down just to do it. Even if they even if they think they can even if they think they can win, they'll pull you down. They still might end up losing, doing some loser stuff. They still might do that, but they'll pull you down in the process if it means getting that inch closer. It's it's always easier to drag someone down than to discipline yourself. Like that works with everything. It's always going to be easier to pull something down rather than lift something up. It's harder to, even in mentorship, like it's hard to pull someone up, but it's easier, or I would say it's easy for them to pull you down. Just being around, just having that proximity. All it takes is some mouth and a little misery. It don't spread hard. It don't. Like it's not hard. Birds of a feather flock together, and when insecurity starts chirping, it spreads. They plant seeds of doubt. When that don't work, they water it with gossip, and they call it, "Oh, I'm just keeping it real." So be mindful. Everybody smiling ain't supportive. Some folks clap just to cover their own collapse. So be mindful and selective. You can't save everybody. However, you can guide. You can plant seeds. You can model discipline. But you can make a grown man, a grown person, water their own garden. That's not your job. Your job is to set the example. Stand tall enough that even if they do fall, they can always look up and be like, that's what solid look like. That's what I ain't that's what a RN is right there. They can always say that because of you. They'll always remember that. That's what manhood is. That's mastery. That's legacy. You didn't ask to be a father to a son that definitely isn't yours. You didn't sign up to give your energy. You didn't sign up to give your energy away. But maybe that's what divine masculinity is. Creating that safety where, chaos lingers. Adding structure to confusion. And, I've really been like sitting and stewing on this. And it's like people see you. Like it feels like a thankless job, but A lot of people don't have that capacity to say they see you or to give you that reciprocity. And if you're somebody carrying, the burden of, mentoring and being a leader, the world sees you. Like, it's not only for them, it's for the culture, it's for healing, it's for the omniscient elevation of consciousness, like, that is the oneness of the world. Like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there. I just had to, put a little bit out there of the other side of the leadership, not just, the action of it, but the quiet part. That's the jump off. Y'all have a good one. Y'all stay safe. Stay at it. Stay up.